about to enter a world of true crime. From cold cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off into fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime. How's everybody doing today? What a great live yesterday. All right, do me a favor. Same thing every day. Hit the like button. If you like how I present content, subscribe if you haven't, and share with your friends. What's up? How you doing, Stephanie? Good to see you. Thanks again for the idea of the Jamie Komorowski. I love when people message me about cases and connections and things. So hello to you. Today's a pretty awesome day as well. What's up, Meow? How you doing? Today we're going to talk about Jenn Soto. We're going to look at some things again, but in a different perspective. Connection. We want to talk about Jenn Soto's connection to Maddie's death, CSAM, pills, and Stephan Stearns, them connected. I have this awesome video that I found from a tiny little creator that is amazing. I love small creators. I love working with them. I love boosting them up. I love it. I love it. Love it. And when there's a topic like the Jenn Soto case or Madeline Soto or any of these cases, we're in true crime. So we're all doing the same case, but we all have different perspectives and different things to bring to it. So even though I've done the video about Jenn and, talking about her arrest, her not getting arrested yet, it doesn't mean that I'm saying she's not going to. I'm not saying that she didn't do anything, because today we're going to talk about the things again that may not have criminal intent with enough to charge, but has criminal intent behind it, and the things we've heard, and we can go through and through and through, and we will. So when we get to the video today, we're going to see things that we've never seen before, I guarantee you. And then we'll go back through her, the first police interview with her lawyer, where she has the, what you call, queen for the day, not full immunity, derivative immunity. So what's up, everybody? How you doing? I think today is going to be a really good live, a different perspective, and I'm excited about it. So what's up, Sadie's mama? Hello to all the mods. Good to see you, Patty and Synth. I think I saw Carly in here. Everybody's starting to roll in. Jamie, how you doing? Yes, I'm glad you guys caught another live. Hit the like button on your way. And if you have the means to get memberships, gift memberships, super chat, super sticker, or any of the below, please do. All right. What's up, Madeline? Always good to see you. Chumba, sweetie, how you doing? Artemis, I'm so glad. Artemis says, I promise I'll calm down. You're good. That's what we're here for. We're all here to be excited about getting justice and seeing it through with each other as a crime crew. So thank you. What's up, Melissa? I'm so glad that you're back to work, and you're going to go back to work, and you're going to rewatch later. I really appreciate that. And if you guys didn't catch the Collier Landry episode yesterday, I promise you that you're going to really be engaged by the show. He was such a sweetheart, such a heartfelt story that had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. I really, truly was just entranced with his story. So I listened to the flatmate of Jenn. The flatmate said that Jenn needed someone to sleep with her, not Maddie. So Jenn's telling lies. Now, that's just one lie out of the 127 other lies and the we's and all that. So the we alone is just really bad. So hello, Sue Joy. Let's get into it. Maurice, good to see you from Australia. Let's start with this first video that I guarantee you haven't seen, and I'll introduce the channel Grisch, Grisch, and I hope that they're the next up and coming big channel, because that's what I want for all creators, for us to work together, to hold hands through the process, to collaborate with each other, to react to each other, and just to work together. So let's do it. I was doing the case the other day. I'm not even going to get into the actual specifics, but I was doing a case the other day, and Stephanie, blah bitty blah blah blah. You messaged me about that case, and I was like, "You're the 10th person from my channel that messaged me about Jamie Komorowski." So I did the case, and I got a nasty gram from another creator saying that I couldn't, essentially, I shouldn't be doing that case because they're doing it. And this is the second time I've covered a case that they're covering. And I was like, what? I didn't know we had dibs on cases, y'all. Did you guys drop that in chat if I knew that we had dibs on these big cases that we all do, by the way. Grizzly True Crime did that, Jamie Komorowski. So I was very blown away, but I guess I'm never surprised on the YouTube lands anymore. So let's get into it. This is actually only part 1, so be excited for this. This is part 1 of a mind-blowing episode. Let's go. February 27th, early.
Jennifer, tell me how you feeling right now.
I feel like I can't breathe. You dropped her off close to
For Stephan Stearns. That's just
All right, now before I even go past that, who remembers that before we ever saw anything? Who remembers that? Who remembers that particular I can't breathe? Now, we read that over and over and over. Yeah, oh, bless your heart, Jack Stormo. Hi, Mama. Good to see you, Mom. I love you. God, you're here. Yeah, they're still learning. Thank you, Bev. Whoever the streamers is still learning and don't realize that you do all cases, right? Well, I think that the way I put it, I wasn't the nicest way for me to say that. Hey, I'm not going to stop doing cases that you do. We all do the damn same cases, so whatever. I think they're still learning too, and they took it the hard way. Can you spell the name of the creator? No, I cannot. No, I will not. I cannot. Love you, Mom. And I know you love us all. Now, who remembers this when we got into this Jenn Soto case? I remember Millie. Millie, if you're out there, or any of the ladies that I started this case from. I started this case and I had all the people, Millie and all the Jenny and all that. And we read this, I cannot breathe. And I remember you guys saying Jenn Soto strangled Maddie. Now, this was before the documents, before the video. We didn't know that she was strangled or asphyxiated. We didn't know her hypoid bone was broken. And yes, Mama Sage, it's sad when the haters are your supposed friends, though. So let's just put it as that. All right. So who remembers that? Now let's remember this. Jenn Soto never once mentioned that they needed to get Maddie home because she has asthma and she might not be able to breathe and she might have an asthma attack. This asthma inhaler was found in Maddie's backpack with paint all over it. Jenn neglected in any video that we watched today or that you see to say that Maddie had asthma. She talked about her ADHD. She talked about her autism. She talked about her not having friends. She talked about her forgetfulness. She talked about her not being able to sleep alone. But never once did she talk about maybe she's going to not be able to breathe with her asthma without her inhaler. So let's remember that when you guys say hashtag arrest Jenn Soto, okay? Because that's the 207th, 8th, 9th thing that this lady, monster potato, didn't mention. Now, also, Liz, you're absolutely right. We're going to talk about the croc today, too, because there were 2 crocs, one that got left in her room with the first pair or the second pair, and one that was in the trash. All right. And we're going to hear Stephan clearly say that she was wearing Crocs and socks. All right. And Jenn says there's something different, which leads me to believe that she helped Stephan get Maddie dressed to dump her. All right. What's up, Darlene? Good to see you. It's not weird. These things are not coincidences. There are no coincidences in true crime.
You dropped her off close to
for Stephan Stearns. That's just a costume. But this is his real costume. Most of you wouldn't know that until someone took photos of him like this. There's not one document, photo, interview with anyone, not even Jennifer or Stephan, that gives you one hint at what Jennifer and Stephan liked about each other the day they met. Jen and Stephan never really liked each other. They liked
I love this because we went into that a couple of times ago. We're going to go through a lot of things, but do you remember when Jenn Soto said we were friends for about a year and a half, and she said to Stephan, well, why don't we hook up? It didn't even dawn on him to hook up with Jenn Soto. He said, sure. He said, sure. He was going for Maddie the whole time. He knew what he wanted. He was already grooming her. He was already filling out Jenn to see how dumb she was, how much he was going to let all three of them sleep in the bed, how much access that she was going to give to Stephan Stearns. Nothing about them said they were a couple. Them having sex didn't happen 6 months ago, and Jenn couldn't do it because she was on medication. Yeah, we're going to slam Jenn. Absolutely. Today's a Jenn slam. Mom, yes, cook the potato. Did Jenn keep the one crock as a memory? No, but I do think that Maddie passed through Jen's room and dropped a crock while being carried out of the house that Jenn helped Stephan dress to dump her.
what the other could provide. The relationship is part of the costume.
We have photos.
Okay.
We have his phone. We were able to get into his phone. And there are some very, very unfortunate graphic pictures of him conducting various sexual acts with. I wish I could tell you this was all a made-up story, but it's not. Did you ever suspect anything like this? No? You okay?
Now look at that picture. It's very funny. This creator is funny and awesome, but they hone in on the small details. It's really funny because there's a couple of pills sitting next to her purse, and it says Nickelodeon. And when we talk about this, we're talking about her think about while we're listening to this about Maddie's death, about the CSAM and the pills. And I do believe she was really intertwined with the CSAM and making money off of it. And definitely we're going to get into the pills, that they were buying street drugs from, the black market, from the street. They were buying Xanax. They were buying all these things. They were buying it. They were also taking Maddie's pills as well. And it is a very great presentation. I got to give it up to Grisch. All right. Yeah. I think she was intertwined in all of it, including getting Maddie dressed to dump her. When she says what does she say? She says, we didn't know what time the roommates left. How did Stephan get her through the house? We didn't know what time the roommates left for work. All right. Now I know she said a whole bunch of other times, but this was a good example right there. And let's keep going. How long does it take for her to answer this question? And does she even answer it?
Sorry.
Okay. Can I get you anything?
You need some water.
I need some water. Millie. Rest in peace, Maddie.
I think I have a pretty good idea of what Jenn would want from Stephan by looking in Jen's car. I pay attention to the condition of items that are not of evidentiary value. It's not this medical marijuana bottle from Wisconsin. There's something else in this glove compartment, and the length of time it took Jenn Soto to answer this question from the detectives told me more about the item in the glove compartment.
Before we get ahead of that, what is the conversation like between you two when you're in the car? Because y'all were in there for a good while we were trying to figure things out at your apartment, or your condo. What's the conversation like inside that car?
All right, and we're going to sit here and count for like 30 seconds so you guys know what the time is. So we're going to sit there and count and just think about this. Think about what the conversation was when they were sitting in the car as cops were looking through stuff, looking for Maddie. Stephan Stearns hadn't been approached yet. Now look inside. Look in my take a look inside the description and you'll find Grisch, a really small creator that I'd like to pump up. And this is part 1, Grisch, Grisch. Love the presentation, love the details. It's fantastic. Absolutely. Yeah, there's always a black fog above her head, but listen how long it takes her to answer. And then she doesn't even answer what they were talking about in the car. And remember, they were talking about something at the desk the morning that Stephan got back. He had already dumped Maddie, came back, was sitting at the desk while he was resetting his phone. And they had a conversation at that time too. Jenn accidentally said that she said that they were talking about updating his phone. That's what she said. That's a joke, by the way. Okay. Is that a redundant question? What were you talking about?
What exactly we were talking about?
Thank you, Leanne.
I remember late in the like when you guys let us know we couldn't come back, and I called his dad, or we called his dad. I started saying to him, like, I think they're focusing in on you. Like, we need to call your dad, and I think we need to get you a lawyer. I feel like they're focusing on the wrong person, and he kept saying the same thing.
All right, so we're at 51 seconds. She didn't ask. He asked what they were talking about at the time in the car, and she goes on to talk about getting him a lawyer, and because they're focusing on the wrong person, she brought that up. He didn't even bring that up and say, I need to get a lawyer. She said, we need to get a lawyer. They're focusing on the wrong person. And he said, oh yeah, I think so too. Let's get a lawyer. And we'll keep on listening, but this is just 51 seconds for her to think about that. And then watch.
He kept repeating what I was repeating.
Jennifer, the police didn't ask you that because they wanted to know what you and Stephan were talking about. They asked you that question because they saw you do something that made them think that the most important thing at that moment was not finding your daughter. What I'm highlighting in red here are the sides of the glove compartment. The part in yellow of the Ziploc bag is directly in the center. Now it's all crinkled up and damaged because you, Jennifer, slammed it shut because you were panicking when the cops approached you. You want to know what causes a sense of urgency in Jennifer?
Pills.
Right there.
And if you can't see that, it's the pill bottle. So now I want to tell you, Patty, that's not the truth that they're not charging Jenn Soto. They're not charging her right now. They just don't have enough evidence. I can't really break it down any other way than to tell you they would have charged her if they had something tangible. All right. Millie, thank you for being a member for 7 months. She will be recognized the rest of her life. And those are pills. That's the only urgency you ever see between that and sleep. All right. Go check out the description, y'all. Go check out the description. All right. Let's keep going.
It's redacted. Well, let's look at the CSI's thumb. The shadow of the angle indicates the light source's direction. At the bottom of the redaction, you can see just the edge of the bottle. The amber color on the CSI's glove with the curved edge matches the light's angle, suggesting it comes from the bottom of the bottle. This light must pass through the side of the bottle first, indicating that the pharmacy label has been removed. I probably sound really crazy itemizing shit like this for y'all, but this
no,
is
you
light
don't.
Work. Anyway, within the amber light is a rectangular shadow. From the curvature of the bottle and the angle of the light, it's a 4x1 rectangle.
I love it. And you guys know that's alaprazam or Zans or any of those things. I love that he did that. Go look in the description, Leanne. It's Grisch, Grisch. I've said it a few times. I'm sorry. It's in the description. Go subscribe. Very small creator, less than 2,000 followers, but they knew who I was, and they said, hey, great content. And I said, great content back. I'm going to use your video today. We're going to break it down. And this is only part 1, so I cannot wait for part 2. So many more questions to be answered, and it's just such a visual video. I love it. All right, happy 420, Foxy Amazon. Thank you for gifting the one Guilty of Crime membership. All right, so that's what she had in there, and I'm sure they were buying street drugs, and Stephan Stearns was profiting off of CSAM, and I believe that also helped Jenn. And she profited off of that as well, with a tripod in a bedroom that's like a brothel with lube and a tripod and a camera and nothing else set up. She had to have known. And then the pills were something that they needed to supply. That was a habit that they needed to get their fix on. They needed to get their fix. Bars, pills were her main priority. Absolutely. The whole entire time. All right. Great catch right here. Xannies in a baggie, non-prescription, in her glove box.
Cool. And that's a 2 milligram bar of alprolizam or Xanax, and it's most likely counterfeit. Jennifer Soto and Stephan Stearns were never in an actual relationship. It was a depraved codependency. Albeit through indirect terms, they told you exactly what the arrangement was, which would mean, at the very least, Jennifer Soto is not this blindsided mother that she portrays herself to be.
But do remember this, Zanny the nanny is never going to go away. Zanny the nanny's Casey Anthony, and Jenn Soto's the new Casey Anthony. So if she doesn't ever get charged for something tangible, something that's not a misdemeanor, she will be equivalent to Casey Anthony. She won't be able to show her face, and it's not going to be good for her. Yes, networking is absolutely what we do around here. Networking and collaborating with creators, collaborating with the audience here, and having guests is what we want to do on this channel. So yes, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, get your membership, gift memberships, and if you have the means for donation, super chat, super sticker, PayPal, Cash App, any of those, please do, and thank you. All right, let's keep going. Zanny the nanny.
I'd like to go over the initial police body cam footage from when Madeline Soto was first reported missing on February 26th of 2024. I'm sure most of you who have been following the Madeline Soto case have watched this footage 100 times on several different platforms. I'm going to play the original clip. It's just 3 minutes and 19 seconds long, but instead of watching it like you did the other times, just observe what's going on. Don't focus.
Right. And before we say that, I am going to say, CBC, the people in Florida, and you're in Florida, many people in Florida tell me that she is the Casey Anthony of Florida now, because Casey Anthony is one of the most hated people in Florida now for not being convicted of anything. And that's what the feeling was of Casey Anthony at that time. So I understand what you're saying, but Casey Anthony, it's just like, it's a translation of the case. It's a, it's not, I know Casey Anthony's a bit smarter maybe, but I think we doubt Jenn too much. I think we doubt her too much. Yeah. Zanny the nanny. That was Kaylee Anthony's nanny when Kaylee would be put in the trunk and with Xanax. All right. Zannies. I shouldn't say that. And I'm Clark. Good to see you. All right. The infamous Zanny the nanny. Now watch this part closely. It's 3:19. And what did it say? Oh, 2/27/2024. All right, watch.
Focus on one person or two people.
They said it looked like 5 or 6 kids at the park. All right.
She doesn't have immunity. One-time immunity. That's it.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Sila. Thank you.
Are you able to pick up call 931, please? I'm currently working possible signal leak. Can I hold off on that? The number from the other one? 26.
To check.
Stop.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Do they speak English?
All right, now let's watch this closely. You guys like this video so far? You like the way that Grisch shows you the audio, the video, how he breaks the video down? Pay close attention, because we've watched this before, and every time you catch something new, well, he stops and lets you catch it even further. Now, take a look to the right. There's a woman in purple. That's Stephanie. That's Jenn's sister, and that's the one that started the GoFundMe, where Jenn took the GoFundMe money, $16,000, and got herself a lawyer. Now, I'll show you the lawyer again after we get back into the next interview. But keep all these things in mind, okay? Keep these things in mind, and let's keep going. This is just so many details here that we missed.
English?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
This is mom.
This is mom? Okay.
Hey there.
Hi there.
Hey there.
Hey there. What's going on?
So my daughter was dropped off close to school this morning, but never made it. I went to pick her up from school.
I'm sorry, one second.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Are we looking for another kid or we have a kid?
Looking for another one.
Good.
Alright, so people are still on, let's put that out. Any possible location, how long?
13.
I'm trying to get there right now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
So she was supposed to be dropped off at school, didn't make it to school.
Didn't make it to school. I went to pick her up from school today,
Okay.
and she never came out. They announced it over the speaker, and I'm just like, maybe she walked here, because sometimes she'll walk here to this office.
Uh-huh.
I came here, nothing. I went back to the school, they were closed. I got an email from the school saying she was absent, but I also messaged her teacher, and he looked at her entire attendance today and saw that she was completely not at school today either.
Okay.
So she never made it.
Okay. What's her name?
Madeline. Madeline.
Madeline. Last name?
Soto. Soto.
Soto?
Yeah.
Date of birth?
February 22nd, 2011.
February 27, 2000.
22nd,
Oh, sorry. 22nd,
2011.
2011.
Just had her 13th birthday.
13.
Charlie Worldwide, what's the name of the single aid?
Madeline Soto, age 13. I'm trying to get a clothing description now. What was she last seen wearing?
Charlie Worldwide, people hit my call 931 at the same call.
Green hoodie.
Green hoodie,
White Crocs.
white Crocs.
All right, so right there, green hoodie, white Crocs. Now, Stephan, I'm 99.999% positive that when Stephan carried Maddie out of that house, she was wearing a green hoodie, white Crocs, and jean pants, blue jean pants. When he carried her through the room, one of the Crocs fell off and stayed in Jenn Soto's room, and the other one made it to the trash. Now, Jenn Soto is going to correct him in a minute, because there could only be a couple of explanations why she corrects her, and we'll talk about that in a second. Christy, thank you so much. Great to catch live. Jay and crew, it's been well. Hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. Hashtag justice for Maddie. Millie, thank you so much for the 5 guilty of crime memberships. I hope you guys get one. Maddie's socks were clean, and you know why Maddie's socks were clean? Was because he carried her through the room, and somebody helped him dress Maddie. How did he not know what she was wearing when he's the one that dumped her? But she knew, but Jenn knew what she was wearing, but it was wrong. It wasn't even right. So she must have been wearing the black shorts. Maybe she had black shorts under her jeans. We don't know yet, because we haven't got to that. We haven't seen it. No one's told us. But there's a reason why Jenn corrects him here and tells us that she's wearing black shorts and a green hoodie. She corrects him because she probably helped get her dressed to a point, and then Stephan finished getting her dressed and dropped her off. But let's keep going. Get into it. Pay attention.
Either blue or black pants.
I think black shorts.
Black shorts?
Yeah.
Black shorts. Okay.
Very sure,
Black
black shorts.
All right. Do you know if she has like friends in the area?
She does, but she doesn't know where they live.
She doesn't know where they live. Okay.
She does, but they don't know where. Let's stop right away.
Okay. Is this like, does she like have any places that you guys know that she'll usually be at? Any friend's house? Any places that like she likes to hang out?
Not typically, no.
No.
Not typically.
No.
Okay.
Now, Jen looks really scared in this, and besides that, yes, she was found in jeans. Definitely found in jeans. She had to have gotten dressed. She was wearing either nothing at the time or some sort of pajamas. We don't know yet. We don't know what was underneath, but Jen was very adamant about what she was wearing that morning. Okay, even though she says she didn't see her, and they didn't know what time that the roommates left for work in the morning. So how would he have gotten Maddie out without them knowing? How does that happen? Thank you so much, Kawana. Good to see you for the one Guilty of Crime membership. Let's keep going.
Just a quick heads up, I removed a lot of the background noise so we can focus on what we need to focus on.
Are you able to pick up call 931, please?
Obviously, this is from the perspective of a police officer. My experience is being the car that I'm pointing out here, looking on my rear view, wondering why this police officer just followed me in here.
I'm currently working possible signal lake. Can I hold off on that?
This person yanked their car into the spot with no turn signal, slammed on the brakes, and all the doors flung open. That maneuver is called pull up and hop out. And that is something that people do not want to do in the presence of police. Let's see who's in this car.
Watch closely.
Male, maybe around 5'8", dark blue or black shirt tucked in the cargo pants with a black belt.
$26.
And we see the driver. This is the cousin you don't know, but you know about. He doesn't have a job, but he's always on call to put in work. What he's wearing is the proper uniform. I know this is blurry, but it looks like he has more than one t-shirt on. He also has on baggy basketball shorts, and they are purple and black. Now look at where his hands are. It looks like he's pulling up his shorts, but where he'd be pulling up his shorts is higher than his shorts waistband. Now look at his left hand. His thumb and index finger have a considerable space between them. There's something taking up that space. And see where his right pocket is? There is a bulge on the right side all the way over to the left side. That's a pair of sweatpants under the shorts. The reason for the layered clothing is so if he does something, he won't be easily identified. He can simply remove the basketball shorts and t-shirt quickly, roll down his sweatpants, and now he's got a completely different outfit on. Now look at his posture. This person is clearly mad, but what does he do? After you, sir. So if we saw it, the cop saw it. If the cop didn't react, it's because he wasn't surprised by their actions. He knows who they are. He knows why they're mad, because they gave him the scoop before he talked to Jen.
So at this point, I want you guys to remember that the cops are already on to Stephan's turns, and they're already on to, and trust me, they've been on to Jenn Soto. They really were hoping that they would have arrested her by now. They thought they would have arrested her. They thought they were going to find evidence. That's why they gave her that one-time immunity deal. They thought she was going to say something or slip up, because they thought that they were going to say, look at this picture, Jen. Look at your daughter giving a BJ to this man. Look at how disgusting. And they thought she was going to give it all up and say, he's been doing that for a long time, or I've suspected, or that man's a, and she never did. And that's why the officer says, I can't believe you're more focused on him and his well-being than your daughter and her missing. Don't you want to know where she is? Thank you, Jojo, for the $5 super chat. It's for everyone who wants to donate but is unable to. All right. So they were on already to Jenn Soto and Stephan Stearns. They expected to have arrested her by now and to have arrested her that day or within the days. They didn't think that they were going to walk away and not get an arrest from her. Trust me. AK-47, what's up? Good to see you. Hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. All right, let's keep going.
Of course. Do they speak English?
In the purple shirt is Jen's sister. To her right, sitting on the couch, are two of Jen's other sisters. There's a lot more going on in this clip than just what Jenn and Stephan are saying to the police officer. If you notice, all the people that are in this room are standing far away from Jenn and Stephan. Also, remember that Jenn is Puerto Rican, and in Puerto Rican culture, quiet means loud. Their reactions are based on what Jenn is doing and saying, and it's easier to see how they're reacting based on how and where they look when Jenn does certain things.
Okay. Hi there.
Not including Jenn and Stephan and the police officer, there are 5 people in this room.
Her mom's back there. Roommate.
Here we have Stephan Stearns and Jennifer Soto attempting to explain to the police officer that her daughter Madeline is missing. Now, this is difficult for Jenn because she's in a room full of people that know when she's lying. So this is why this footage is way more important than the other footage that you've seen and heard, because these are the people that know Jenn for who she really is.
All right. And before we get to that, I was noticing when I was making the thumbnail today, and every time I make a thumbnail or get to this case, I can't rarely find a picture of Jenn Soto and Stephan Stearns. Out of the hundreds of pictures that I've seen, it's hard to find. I cannot find Stephan and Jenn next to each other. It's always Stephan and Maddie and Jenn off somewhere, or Stephan and Maddie, or just Jenn and Maddie. That's a little bit of a creepy picture, by the way. I just noticed Madeline is off to the side there, and she's like transparent or translucent. Yes, this is Calissa. I tagged Grisch in this and thank them. So that they're in the description. They're a small channel, and I'd love for them to skyrocket up. This is only part 1 of many other parts. Hopefully, Grisch, you get on it. Get on it. We want to see more. All right. So there's not a lot of pictures with them too. Why when they're a couple? Why when they're so close? Why when they've been together for 7, 8 years and they're such good friends? Why is it hard to find a picture of them two together? All right. Morgan says, thank you. All right. Jennifer is not Puerto Rican. She's another culture too. Well, she is. She's part Puerto Rican. And the mom's Puerto Rican, and the mom's back there. That's her office. That's the whole thing. But yeah, there's mothers from a different Hispanic country. Yes, Hispanics are loud, but but it's just a thing. I'm Puerto Rican too, and Hispanics are loud. All right. It's not a diss, Emily. I promise. It's not a diss. All right. Yeah, Jenn is worse than Casey. I don't know. I don't know if there's a worse, but I'm only comparing them because neither one of them got arrested. Casey Anthony did, and she got off, and she never will be tried for that again. All right, let's keep going.
Hey there.
Hey there. What's going on?
So my daughter was dropped off close to school this morning.
You notice
What's
the
your
person
daughter's
in the
name?
little office switch seats with another person. So the second person is conveying information most likely to the people outside.
But never made it. I went to pick her up from school.
I'm sorry.
The cop puts Jennifer's story time on hold and During this time
Story
is a
time.
very important moment. Jenn receives a call on her cell phone, and you'll see her reaction to that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Muppet face. Potato face. She never
Who
even
could that
says Maddie's
possibly
name,
be to cause Jenn to react like that?
right? Look at that face. Wow. Yeah, what is that? What's up with that? Look at that face. Pure panic, fear.
Looking for
The people in the room who knows Jenn for who she really is saw her pass off the phone like that to Stephan.
Wow. That one looks angry. Jenn looks confused and scared. Very odd. Yeah, crazy eyes. Exactly. Exactly. Look at that. Hey, Tyler. It's Stephan. Somebody said maybe it's her dad. Why didn't she answer if her daughter's missing and supposed to be worried? Absolutely, because she knew where Maddie was. She knew about the morning. She knew what was happening already. Not many questions. Maddie didn't have any friends. Don't look for her anywhere. Already contacted all of her friends, and Maddie's nowhere. That's it. Nowhere. But we're looking for her. And my daughter, what's her name? Madeline. Maddlne. What? Let's spell her name. Madl. What are you saying? All right, let's keep going. Yeah, Jenn took a lot of meds, but it's no excuse. She wanted Stephan to tell Tyler because Tyler knows Jenn best. He would know if she sounded off or he was asking her something. Yeah, she knows so much. She knows too much that if she talks to Tyler and says your daughter's missing or says something, then he's gonna say, wait a minute. He can question her a little too much. That's what that fear was.
Hey, Tyler, it's Stephan. They know who Tyler is.
Yep. Wow.
So why would Jenn pass off the phone like that to Stephan when she knew Tyler was calling?
Right. That's not because
Now
he
look how
knows her
Jenn's
too well.
sisters react to that.
I'll go on.
Right. Oh,
Then someone at Jenn's right says something under their breath that caught Jenn's attention. And the mask slips off. This is the real Jennifer Soto. This is who she really is.
and I'll pause it for a minute. I agree with that. She holds all the cards, master manipulator, puppet master. Oh shit, dad's calling. She didn't want dad to get the sense. And thank you, not the mama, for pointing out Grisch. I appreciate you, Jess. And one other person also messaged me about the video, and then Grisch reached back out and said, awesome, I've been following your channel. So awesome. Thank you, Jess. Love it. That's Jenn right there. She didn't want to talk to Tyler because he would have got a sense. And remember, when Tyler talked to the people on the news for the first and only interview, they said, what do you think about Jenn? Do you think that she's involved? And he said, I don't know. I'm not getting a sense. I haven't, I don't know Stephan too much. So why did you pass the phone off to Stephan if you don't know Stephan? Why not say, hey, your daughter's missing. Get over here. We need help. We're looking for her. None of that. None of that. Ugly, you ain't got no alibi. Now, that's an interesting thing. On the murder charge, that charge right there, the evidence is going to be slim because it happened late at night or in the morning. Then she was dumped. And so there's little evidence because it was inside of the condo. So there's not going to be a text message from Stephan saying, I just took Maddie's life. Come downstairs. It's going to be more like face-to-face interaction. So that's going to be a little bit harder to prove unless, number one, they do find some kind of evidence, or number two, Stephan begins to talk, because she's not going to. She's not going to at all. All right, let's keep going. And we are going. Look at that. He took the glasses off, y'all. Look at that face. That is a perfect capture of her face. And Bogart, you say evil. Absolutely. Look at that. Not that she's just ugly. Clark, you're right. Jenn was afraid to talk to Tyler and she passed it on. Yeah, she probably is talking to the ex-roommates because they're BFFs with her sister and the friends. Absolutely, she is. Maybe not the one that Stephan was filming under the door, but look at that. That's Jenn. And I hope that at some point she gets a mug shot with that face, no glasses, nothing to hide behind. Has Tyler said anything? No, he hasn't, Vaney. He has not. All right, let's keep going. Devil in disguise. Ugh, that's gross.
Good, police officer.
People are still on the scene, let's put that out in the hospital location. How long?
I'm trying to get there right now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
So she was supposed to be dropped off at school, didn't make it to school.
Didn't make it to school. I went to pick her up from school today,
Okay.
and she never came out. They announced it over the speaker, and I'm just like, maybe she walked here because sometimes she'll walk here to this office.
Mhm.
I came here, nothing. I went back to the school. I got a notice, an email from the school saying she was absent, but I also messaged her teacher, and he looked at her entire attendance today and saw that she was completely not at school today either.
Okay.
So she never made it.
Okay. What's her name?
Madeline. Made.
I love that we're
L-N-E.
MADELINE. Last name?
Soto. S-O-T-O.
S-O-T-O?
Yeah.
Date of birth?
February 22nd.
The woman who just walked out, the hand gesture she just did kind of means, get me up to speed on what's going on.
2011.
February 27, 2000.
This is Yolanda Zambrano. She is Jennifer Soto's mother and Madeline Soto's grandmother.
All right, this is great. A lot of people don't know, and a lot of people are just hearing for the first time, even though I played it a couple weeks ago, Yolanda's interview. And then the kids, right? Sage. I just saw Plunder come out. I guess she wasn't going to put the kids' interviews out, but she did. And the interview with Yolanda. So go back to my channel, watch the kids' interviews, watch Yolanda's interview, listen to what they're saying. Yeah, 222 is Maddie's birthday. And since you just said that, say a prayer for Maddie that she gets complete and utter justice and that we keep the pressure on not only the police, but the pressure on Jenn. We also just hit 555 in chat. So do me a favor and say a prayer for Maddie and hit the like button while you're at it. All right. What's up, Desiree? Glad you got alive. All right, what is Yolanda thinking?
22nd.
Oh, sorry. 22nd,
2011.
2011.
Just had a 13th birthday.
She gets a text from someone who's in the room, and she tells them to come here.
13.
Who could it possibly be? Jenn's own sister. Watch this from Jenn's perspective. She's talking to the police officer, and her sister is walking up to her mother, updating her on what's going on with what Jenn and Stephan have been saying to the police the whole time. And she's doing it right behind Jenn in Spanish and in English with the intent of them hearing her.
What's the name of the single lady?
Madeline Soto, age 13. I'm trying to get a clothing description now. What was she last seen wearing?
Green hoodie.
Green hoodie.
White Crocs.
White Crocs.
Either blue or black pants.
I think black shorts.
Black shorts.
Yeah.
Black shorts.
And I have to pause it on that because I don't know what she's thinking at this time. I don't know if she's thinking the awful thought in her head of the last time she saw Maddie when she maybe put the shorts on. Maybe Maddie wasn't dressed at all. She put the hoodie on. She put the shorts on. Maybe Stephan put the pants above. But something's off with her face, what she's thinking, them talking back there, that's a good perception. That's a good catch to know that they're talking right behind Jenn, but they're not very far, where Jenn is thinking very loud, trying to talk to the officer over here, keep up with Stephan over here, and then listen to what they're saying in English and Spanish. Now, mind you, the officers are picking this up on the body cam, so they're catching the cues, they're catching the conversation as well. But this means something. Trust me, her face and her thoughts and her thinking and her talking about what Maddie was wearing that morning is more important than you guys probably even know.
Okay. Black shorts. All right. White Crocs.
Either blue or black pants.
I think black shorts.
Black shorts?
Yeah.
Black shorts. Okay.
Not looking too good for Jenn, is it?
Black
Look at her.
shorts. All right. Do you know if she has like friends in the area?
She does, but she doesn't know where they live.
She doesn't know where they live. Okay.
I asked all of them.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Is this like, does she like have any places that you guys know that she'll usually be at? Any friends?
You hear what Jenn's sister just said to their mother?
Okay. Is this
¿Cuánto otro niño está a las 8:30? How many other kids are there at 8:30?
Is this?
That's obviously in response to Stephan saying that he dropped Madeline off at 8:30 next to that church. I feel as though I have a plausible theory as to the level of culpability that Jenn plays in her.
And before we get into that, because we're almost at the end of this, I just want you guys to take a look at that picture right there. Look at the girl in the chair, her cousin. She's looking right at either Stephan or Jenn, whoever's talking. These people despise Stephan Stearns. Keep that in mind. Like, this is not only not a happy meeting because it's not a happy meeting because Maddie's just missing. They're not happy, and I'm sure they're suspecting something's going on with Jenn and Stephan. They do not like Stephan. That's why he wasn't at the party. We always suspected this, right? We always suspected this, but once we started hearing Jenn's interview, and they asked her point blank, why was Stephan not at the birthday party? She said, because my family didn't like him. They didn't allow him there. He wasn't invited. So this is not a happy meeting right here either. With this guy standing in the middle of the floor, them two talking about Maddie being missing. Yeah, there's an anger vibe there. Very angry vibe. And she's either looking at Jenn or Stephan, whoever's talking. And she's looking at the cops, obviously.
Her daughter Madeline's death. I'll be back with part 2 as soon as possible.
All right, so now you know who that creator is, and we appreciate that. We're going to keep up on those parts, but I do want to get into, because I don't want to cut this that short. This just came out like a day ago or so, and they started breaking down Jenn Soto's police interview on Court TV. So I wanted to go through that with you guys so we can talk about that. And for the last time, Jenn Soto does not have immunity. I know a lot of people say, I can't believe Jenn has immunity. She doesn't have immunity. You'll hear it. She only has immunity for that particular meeting, and you'll actually hear him break it down as to what that means. For this time, he says, you can tell us that there's a gun buried in your backyard, and we're not going to arrest you. We're going to go get that and collect it as evidence. You'll hear. I also showed you her lawyer before. He's a pretty good lawyer for criminal defense. Why did she need such a good lawyer for criminal defense when she didn't do anything? Now, I know a lot of people, it's best to get a lawyer, right? If you're involved that closely, whatever, it's always the cops say get a lawyer. But when your daughter's missing and you're trying to solve a case and you're getting a lawyer for the guy that's been abusing her for years and then taking her life ultimately, why do you need such a good criminal defense attorney? Yes, Maddie did beg not to go home. Absolutely. Right. Let's listen to this I'm not going to listen to this for 2 hours, but William J. says, if you need a break to consult with your attorney, that's absolutely fine. And this is where April 18th, 2024, excuse the dogs, he wanted to say hi, starts.
Consult with your attorney, that is absolutely fine. We'll all step out of the room, turn off our recorders, and let you exercise your constitutional right to have counsel. There's no problem with that. There's water fountains here, there's restrooms. I don't know if you're a smoker or not, but like if you get desperate, we can make an outside break time, but we are kind of under time constraints. With that all said, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, this is an investigative subpoena, so you've been compelled to be here. And in our country, under the 5th Amendment and 14th Amendment as applied to you under the Florida Constitution as well, you cannot be forced to incriminate yourself. So anything you say today can't and won't be used against you unless you just don't tell us the truth. And I've already explained to your attorney, Mr. Bark, whether or not you've made any inconsistent statements in the past, that is dirt under the bridge, and either a misdemeanor was committed or it wasn't, but we're not going to be using that.
And you heard that. We're not going to be using that as a basis of some sort of perjury by false statements. What you say can and won't be used against you. Now they know she lied a lot in the interviews. They know that she used we. That's like he said, that's no big deal. That's a misdemeanor. Water under the bridge. They saw the interviews. They know that she also used Maddie in past tense. They wrote that in their report. Mom is using daughter's name in the past tense. All right. Now, this is before they knew Maddie was passed away, deceased, had been abused. Maybe they had a sense that Stephan was doing something, but they didn't quite know just yet. So there's a reason for this interview, and it's not to let her off the hook. It's because they want more information from her. They want direct information about the freaking murder, not about the 1,700 photos, not about all the images, not about any of that. They want to know about the day of the murder. There's not a lot of evidence. There's a body, but there's not a lot of, it's all circumstantial. They're in the house. They see Stephan on the camera. Her mouth is open. They're taking guesses that she's not alive. One point to the other, a backpack thrown out, all still circumstantial, not this huge DNA smoking gun. All right, let's keep going.
That is a basis of some sort of perjury by false statements, because those other charges wouldn't be perjury anyways. So the most important thing today is to tell the truth. I also explained derivative use immunity, which means if you said that there was a gun, and obviously there's no gun in this case, buried in your attorney's yard, we couldn't go dig up that gun if you told us that, oh yeah, there's the gun that was used is right there. We wouldn't be able to do that. We would have to show that we learned all those things independently from this interview. Okay? Do you have any questions? All right, so let's get started.
Before you start, let me just make sure we're clear on the record. I had off the record, we had discussed our position on the concerns we have. Ms. Soto was interrogated by law enforcement previously. She was under a tremendous amount of duress and stress, being that her child was missing and then she was informed was found deceased. There's been media hysteria about this. There's been people asking for her to be prosecuted, tarred, feathered, executed. And so with that said, we have the concern that you brought up about if there's something said inconsistent today, not being used against her for filing a false police report.
Right. So for example,
all right. So right there is a big deal, you guys. And I keep seeing it over and over and over in different forums, different comments when it comes out. But Jenn did this, but Jenn said this, but Jenn said we. And we're like picking these things apart. Right here just stops it. For example, if she said something that was false then, or in a statement, or in the officer's statement where she uses the past tense, they don't care about any of that. They just want hard evidence is what they're looking for. Hard evidence for a felony or to tie her to the taking of the life or the abuse of a corpse, something like that. Okay, so you were Bean. What's up, Carol? Good to know. William J. is Sarah Boone, prosecutor. I love it. We do too. And he has a purpose, what he's doing here. So let's keep going. Try to read along with this so you guys can retain this. And then when you go into other forums and someone says, well, what about her saying we? They don't care about that. It's not that they want.
If she said something that was false then, and we have no idea that it was false now before this interview, but she comes in and admits that it was false today, we can't use these statements or that admission that it was false against her, just like we couldn't use anything else against her from this interview.
Okay.
I want to welcome our guests for this hour, criminal defense attorney Marie Pereira and Deputy Public Defender Philip Dubé. Happy Thanksgiving week to both of you. Thank you for joining me. This case, right. Madeline Soto. All
right, we're going to keep going. I don't really care what we've done a lot in this, but I do want to hear portions of this with you guys, just so you guys
I saw the picture of the oral sex happening.
Okay, so she just said, I saw a picture of the oral sex happening. Like, I don't want to hear their theories. I want to hear what I'm saying to you and go over this with you so we can go over it, catch other things. Kawana, you're amazing. Thank you so much for the gift, for the Guilty of Crime membership, and sent 5 more memberships. There's 555 people in chat, y'all. Hit the like button and get a subscription today. We're going to do something really cool for the next members only. So do that. And I'm trying to put out more members only content. And if you would drop the Patreon down for me, or one of you guys drop the Patreon, we're populating Patreon a lot more. So I want you guys to check out the Patreon. Go join, get a free membership over there. What's up, Carrie? Good to see you. All right, let's keep going.
She tells law enforcement that she thinks they have the wrong man. Let's listen to that together.
So we showed you photos of Stephan raping.
No.
First thought you had was to ask his father if you should get a lawyer?
No. I saw a picture. I didn't see the rape. I didn't know she was getting raped until yesterday.
You hear that?
I saw the picture of the oral sex happening. And I knew that was true, right? That's evidence. That's for real. That's happening.
Yeah.
But I kept thinking, they're going. I don't know why I can't tell you why my brain kept thinking, no, he didn't kill her. Not that he didn't kill her, but she's still missing. She's still out there. She was taken. Yes, he's done this to her, and that's not okay. But I swore she was still, I felt in my body she was still alive. She was still out there. I told Chris to get a lawyer because I felt like you guys were chasing the wrong person.
All right, let me ask you about that, Philip, because...
All right, I'm not going to listen there. I just want to hear
drove
this.
All around town.
Thank you, Millie.
I'm not sure where you could have gone.
Thank you, Carol. All right, well, we don't have
So what do you mean by everyone?
Okay. Madeline, Stephan, and myself were in my bedroom.
Okay. At this point in time, do you recall what Madeline was wearing?
Here it is.
I don't know.
Let me ask it a different way. Can you tell me whether or not she was wearing a long-sleeved green sweatshirt and jeans?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay, so, oh, no, that's what they found her in when she was already deceased. So they're asking this question to find out if she had anything to do with that part of it, helping dress, whatever. They're trying to catch her on things like that. They're not going to arrest her, but it's going to help point to other things, and it will help solidify if Stephan Stearns does say that she had involvement in it. So let's keep going. This is what I wanted you guys to hear with me today.
Would she have kind of been in her bed gear, or do you think she could have still been in the dress that she wore to her birthday celebration?
She would have been in pajamas. I can't recall the exact pajamas, but she would have been in pajamas. She had already, by this point in the evening, she had already showered and changed out of that birthday dress.
And was it your understanding from your sister that she had gotten dropped off about 8:30, she being Madeline?
8:30, 8:45, something around that time, yeah.
And what's your understanding as to when Stephan had gotten there? If you know. If you don't guess, it's fine.
Actually, while he's saying that, this is important. So there's things that you might think should be a certain way.
Right.
That's just the way things go. But don't just guess based on past history that it's the same as what happened on that particular day. If you don't know, you don't know.
Then, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what time he got there.
Okay. You were at work, so I just didn't know if, like, sometimes families check in, hey, I made it, by text or by phone call or anything like that. Do you not remember any of that?
I don't remember.
Okay. How long were the three of you in your bedroom?
I'm gonna say for about 30 minutes.
Thank you.
And did Madeline tell you about the party? Did she tell you what food they had there at the party?
Yeah, she they had her favorites.
What are her favorites?
Puerto Rican food. So arroz con gandules.
All right, so you're gonna have to translate to English. I know frioles and arroz and a couple other things, but help me out.
I mean, something's really wrong with her, everybody. Like, I don't even know how she's laughing like that. I mean, I feel like she's even earlier in the interviews. This is a police interview where she's going in with their lawyer, but I feel like she was kind of flirting with them. She's laughing about this. Thank you, Donna Rocha, for the $1.99 super sticker. You guys are all amazing, and I appreciate all of your feedback. I try to paste it up there and answer questions that they can. Robbie Keene says, only the best place to be informed. Your awesomeness. Thank you, Robin. You're amazing. All right, let's keep going. I don't know how this lady's laughing at all.
If I recall correctly, she had requested rice. It's a type of rice and beans. It's rice with pigeon peas.
Okay.
And pernil, which is, I'm not sure how that is. It's a pork, but I'm not sure how they cook it.
Okay.
So cooked pork. That's typically what she requests for her parties. That's like her favorite meal.
Okay. And what kind of gifts did she get?
She got a lot of money.
Okay.
That's what she ended up showing me. I think she had a few trinkets, but like most of it was just a big wad of money that she was so excited for.
Not money from you.
Is there any particular reason Stephan couldn't make it up to the party? Because it's my understanding he didn't exactly work or anything.
He wouldn't have been invited. The party was held at my mom's house, and my mom and him have never had a great relationship. She's never liked him. So he wouldn't have been invited to the party at all. It just would have been my whole family, and then me. If I had a march, I would have been there.
Okay.
And this is actually the first time we've heard from anybody that Stephan actually didn't go, that was solidified, right? Because on Court TV, they showed Stephan being there in a balloon. They showed a balloon and they showed a guy with a beard. They're like, oh, Stephan was there. So we all thought that at one point, and then we're corrected by the family. So this is the first time that they're getting on video. And as you can tell, they're releasing these things strategically. So I think more information is coming soon. If you watch a lot of the content coming out by Grizzly True Crime, Plunder, and even us going over this case, no new documents from the FOIA have come out just yet, but I have a feeling they're coming. Right now, we've been requesting them, so hopefully, and Carly, you better get on that, girl. All right, let's keep going.
Now, during this 30 minutes that the three of you are in your bedroom, is Madeline engaging in any of her kind of nighttime routine, or getting ready for bed? What else is going on, if anything?
We spent a long time talking about gifts and having her show me, and then we counted out her money. I can't remember if she had finished with all of her bedtime routine.
Okay. Does she brush her teeth at night?
In the shower.
In the shower? Okay. And that occurred before you got home?
Yeah.
Before we head to break, we want to remind you of a major sentencing happening Monday for defendant Sarah Boone. You watched her trial play out right here on Court TV.
Morning, and then fill it back up and just leave it in her backpack. That typically stays in the backpack.
Okay. Favorite stuffed animal or stuffed animals? Anything that always goes with her wherever she's sleeping?
She does have a few stuffies and blankies. Did I see any that day?
Yeah, specifically, did you see if she brought any of that stuff upstairs with her?
No, I didn't see any of that stuff upstairs.
No.
And keep in mind, folks, you guys are awesome for being here. You're supporting the channel. So you guys just being here and hitting the like button or sharing or subscribing or sending this video to your friends and saying, hey, check this out. You're supporting the channel. So don't feel bad at all. I understand the holidays are coming up and none of us, we don't all have jobs or whatever. So I appreciate you. Donna, thank you for becoming a member. Jess, I miss you. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super sticker. I appreciate you and all that you do. all that you do. I know you're behind the scenes a lot, but I watch everything that you send me, and well, I miss you. I miss talking to you, talking cases out. All right. Millie says, I'll always be a supporter. Jay has been the first to put Maddie first and the one covering the case with respect. Thank you all for supporting. 99 cent goes a long way for MS memory and her justice. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Millie. You're my girl. You know that. I can't wait till you get back home, and maybe we'll meet each other soon. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, Jen did only care about the money, and I'm sure she probably put it towards her own selfish needs along with the GoFundMe, $16,000. Now, Melly, you're here, and you're one of the other people that know about the GoFundMe and the $16K that she stole, and I'm sure she put it towards her lawyer. She's a selfish POS.
Now, separate question. Generally, habitually, like your attorney was saying, there's a difference between specific memory, but generally, would she do that? Not saying that you saw it that night.
Oh, wow. Would she do what? Bring
have stuffies and blankets and her favorite stuff.
Yes. She typically would.
So if Stephan says something like Maddie's building her nest and getting settled in, would that to you mean like her stuff is part of this nest, or what do you think that would mean if you know?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you recall getting that text from Stephan that night that Maddie had settled into her nest for the night?
I don't remember that text. No.
Okay. My understanding was that at some point you told them it was time to go to bed.
Yeah.
Do you recall about what time that was?
Around 11 o'clock.
So that's consistent with getting home at 10:30, having this half-hour discussion and eating your pub sub? Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. Do they comply with your wishes to go upstairs when you say that at about 11 o'clock?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Is there any further communication between either you and Madeline or you and Stephan about, all right, kids, it's time to go to bed, anything like that? Or was that the last you had heard from either one of them that night?
I think at some point, Stephan comes downstairs to use the restroom and then goes back upstairs. But after that, I don't recall interacting or saying anything. So.
Okay. And my understanding is that you had some sort of parental controls over Maddie's phone. Is that accurate?
All right, let me tell you something real quick, Krista. He's definitely leading. He wanted this interview. I want you to keep that in mind, that this guy wanted the interview so that he can go down his list and check off the things that he wants to ask. So he is leading because he's trying to get certain answers out of her. That's why he had this. Jenn Soto did not have to go to this interview at all. She's never had to talk. She could have went to this interview and not talked at all. She could have said nothing. And yeah, thinking of the nest is cringy. I believe the nest was okay. She already took her pills and she's in the bed, all huddled up, ready to go to sleep. But the pills were a big part of the routine. All right. So yeah, Jen didn't even have to talk. The nest, dictionary slang. Ooh, I don't even think I want to look that up. I'm going to believe you on that. Vanessa says, got a lot of money, but her friend said, yeah, they did say she was upset and that Jen didn't give her any money and that Stephan used to steal her money. So keep that in mind as Jen answers these questions.
I'm not sure by parental controls exactly. I didn't have any limits or anything on the phone set up.
Well, like, for instance, if she wanted to install Game Pigeon, does that have to go through you?
Yeah. So any permissions for any apps, she would have to ask me for.
All right, and does that ring a bell as to occurring that Sunday? Game Pigeon?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay. All right. So that's the last time you hear from either one of them until the morning. My understanding is that Stephan comes down and is dealing with your dog. Is there any communication other than perhaps Stephan coming down to use the restroom? Is there any other communication that you have between Stephan and Maddie? Do you see them? Now, I've said communicate. Do you see them? Do you go up and check on them? Do you see Madeline or Stephan from the point you kick them out at 11 p.m. until you see Stephan at 8 in the morning-ish is what you guess for the dog?
Hello.
I didn't see them.
Okay. Now, when you go to sleep, do you sleep through the night, or do you wake up and not have consistent good sleep?
I sleep through the night.
Okay. So there wouldn't be any points in time where you get up and you're taking steps or just checking on.
You know, I do think that, Tony. I do think that when it comes down to it, Stephan's not going to say a word until they either get to trial or there's a big conversation with him and his attorney and the detective. He is absolutely going to say something to get himself a lesser charge rather than taking the death penalty. Now, if he was just dumping Maddie's body and he had been, yes, I'd been abusing her for years. She started it. I thought we were in a relationship. You know, those sickos. I watch I watch Mandu all the time and the parole hearings, and those guys are sick. They think these little girls are for them, that they were flirting with them. So let's say in Stephan's mind, he believed that. I do think that he will say that Jenn started this, or Jenn, Jenn with her and Maddie were fighting, and she had him dump her, but it was just abuse of a corpse. He's going to say something about Jenn. He's going to blame her. He does not want the death penalty. Trust me. You say the clinic at Suboxone Method. Yes, she did go to. I'm sure they probably did go to that clinic. I wouldn't doubt that. All right. Yes, Stephan will do that.
On your phone, you can't go back to sleep. As far as you remember, when you go to sleep, you're out until the dog thing in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you hear or see anything during those hours involving Stephan or Madeline?
I didn't hear or see anything that night.
Before we have to take a break, I want to quickly share my thoughts from the bench on this case.
No.
I would have hoped she would have said good night, but I'm not sure.
All right. So do you fall back asleep?
I do.
And when do you wake up and how do you wake up?
I wake up at like 9 o'clock in the morning to my alarm. I wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning to my alarm. I get ready. I think at around 9:30, 9:45, I leave for my doctor's appointment.
Okay. So in this period of time from when you're waking up and getting ready, do you see anybody else in your home?
At this point, I'm not too sure. I know throughout the day I've seen my roommate in the kitchen cooking and doing her thing, but I don't recall if it was at this time.
Did you see your daughter this morning on the 26th?
No.
Did you have any texts or phone calls or any other type of communication through any possible app on your phone? Like, hey, Mom, love you at school, whatever. Any communications from Madeline?
Anything from her? Nothing.
All right. How about from Stephan by the time that you wake up at 9? Any texts or communication from him? Maddie's dropped. I'm off to the game store or whatever he's doing.
No. I didn't hear back from Stephan until 10:20ish, and he had told me he left his phone at home that whole morning by accident. And I had asked him how the morning went, how was Maddie, and he let me know that this morning went great. We made great time. She got busy super quick. He was going to take her to McDonald's for breakfast, but she changed her mind. All she wanted to do was sleep in the car, so he let her sleep. He took her to school and dropped her off where he said he dropped her off, and that was it.
And you had a 10:15 appointment for a blood draw?
Yes.
And did you go anywhere else prior to getting to your appointment for your blood draw? Did you go directly there or not directly there? That's basically the question.
Oh, I went directly there.
All right. And after your blood draw, did you go directly back home?
Yes.
About what time did you get home?
Sometime between 11:15 and 11:30.
All right. And now in a second, she's going to talk about her and Stephan having a conversation, and this is when he erases his phone. And good night, Scary Sherry. I'm glad you're watching. Shout out to you always, one of our biggest supporters on the channel. I appreciate you. And earlier I didn't get to shout you out to Crystal. Thank you so much for the 1999 super chat and prayers for you and losing your, I think you said father or a family member. I can't remember, but I do remember you. I do remember you. All right, let's keep going.
Did you have any other appointments or doctor's appointments later in the day?
I was supposed to have had one, but I canceled it
When did you cancel it?
that same day
Why did you cancel it?
Okay.
because it was a $350 Botox appointment that I didn't want to spend the money on. I changed my mind last second.
All right, still with us, criminal defense attorney Marie.
All right, we're not going to
Go
listen
back.
to this right now. You guys
Don't know.
At yourself.
Back by 2:30. Okay.
So was that the plan, to get her together, or was it ever discussed that he would get her alone?
The plan was for us to get her together.
Okay. All right. And so does he leave before you leave?
Actually, before this, while we were still discussing, while we were having the conversation on the in my room, he did mention at one point, while he was sitting there, that he had to reboot his phone, or that he had to update his phone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, reboot or update his phone. Now, you all know when he rebooted and updated his phone, he accidentally deleted it. And now he wiped it 3 separate times, hoping that it would erase itself. And thank God for the cloud for it backing up. So absolutely it didn't. I know that she restarting, whatever. She knew. She was talking to him about the storyline. They were getting their stories together. Yeah, factory reset. Thank you, Marilyn. It took the words out of my mouth. I couldn't think. My brain was like, oh, what's that word? Yes, a factory reset. And she's mentioning the reset because she's recalling the story from that that morning, and she's trying to find things to say that sticks to the storyline, because her and Stephan always it's a story. They're they're just telling a story, and they do it over and over and over. They're scripted. It's very scripted. That's why she said that.
And what was it? He had to update his phone. So I told him, stop avoiding it, do it. Like, it's updates take a while. Like, do it. And while he was updating his phone, he said, I don't know what I did, but I just factory reset my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that's weird. I didn't know that you could do that. He said, yeah, a button popped up and I pressed it and it just reset my entire phone. And I'm like, oh, that's.
Could you guys imagine? I have to step in here. Could you imagine if your daughter was missing that morning, or whatever was going on? Did she even know that he was missing yet? No. But the way she's saying that, can you imagine saying so nonchalantly that you factory reset the phone? And this whole thing that happened, her daughter's missing, ended up being dead later on. Now, at this point, when she's talking, she already knew she knew that Maddie was dead, because this was April 18th. I hate even saying that. Yes, she was making sure he erased his phone. I agree. I think she was part of it. And the way she says it is like she's not, it doesn't even faze her. The only way that would be is if she was part of it. Yes, very off. Yeah, somehow my fingers meandered to the factory reset. Just meander on over there and go arrest Jenn Soto already. But come on, Stephan, please talk.
That sucks.
So does he leave before you do to go do these errands he was telling you about?
Yes, he does leave.
Do you stay at home until it's time to go get Madeline?
Yes.
Do you hear anything from Stephan while he's out doing these errands?
No.
Okay. So 2:30 rolls around. Is Stephan back home yet?
No. At this point, I leave.
Do you try and call him or text him or communicate with him?
Yeah, I had been calling him like maybe starting 15 minutes before I was supposed to leave, just to see where he was.
Did he answer?
No.
Yep.
I leave at 2:30. around 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from him. And he said, I'm so sorry. I left my phone at home again on accident. I was driving down 192 and my tire exploded or shredded. And I had to pull over into one of the plazas and change my tire. He said he hurt his thumb doing that. And that, he was late and didn't make it back on time for that reason.
All right. When you leave to go pick Madeline up at 2:30, do you take her phone with you?
I do.
And how is it that you come to get her phone to go with you?
At some point in the morning, I was organizing and putting things away, and I walked into her bedroom and I saw her phone on her dresser. And I just assumed
she was organizing and putting things away, or do you think that she was cleaning the crime scene? That's what I always think. I think while Stephan was out getting rid of evidence and getting rid of Maddie, that she was back at the condo cleaning up. Now, rehearsed lines, absolutely, but I also believe that they coordinated their efforts for him to go get rid of Maddie. He got a flat tire. He's telling her about it. She's cleaning the crime scene, and she sees the phone on top of the desk and doesn't check Maddie's phone, doesn't look at any of her binders or her notebooks where she's talking about abuse. Yep, she cleaned up all right. I always thought that. Every time I ever heard that she had a blood appointment, I assumed that, number one, it was partially an alibi, and number two, she was staying behind to clean up. I just can't imagine. And yeah, Stephan's boxers in the hamper in Maddie's room, right? And a gun in the top drawer that she knew about.
Oh, she must have left it here while getting dressed and forgot it.
Okay. Was it on?
Yes.
And sometimes when you bump or move phones, the notification screen comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Did you happen to do that? And did you see if there was any incoming notifications that she had missed?
I hadn't seen any, no.
Okay. All right. So you go to school, and due to time constraints, like an NFL football game, we're going to kind of jump ahead a little bit. My understanding is that you want to be first in line, and you have to get there early to do that, and I understand that.
Yeah.
She doesn't come out.
She doesn't.
Did you call her phone?
Well, you know what, Maurice, just quickly, because earlier the topic was Jennifer Soto's connection to Maddie's death, CSAM pills, and Stephan Stern. So the money was obviously coming from CSAM, and whether it was going directly to him into Bitcoin, and so whatever it translated to, it went to her for the rent the parents paid. It was all circulating around that house. Now, Daddy paid for the condo and she paid some of it back, but I'm sure that they helped her get a car. And I'm sure that's why I'm sure about the pills that she was providing to Stephan, the pills that she was buying off of the street, and the CSAM she was involved in. I believe she was way more heavily involved than she says. And when we talk about her checking Maddie's phone, there's no way she checked Maddie's phone thoroughly, because there would have been evidence on her phone between her and Stephan Stern about certain things. It just doesn't make sense. And yeah, Jen's lying again, of course. That's a 2,700 time. Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
I did.
Why did you do that?
Because I forgot I had it with me. I was like, where is she? Why isn't she out yet? So I start calling her phone, and then I start realizing I'm hearing vibrating, and then I look down and I see her phone's with me. I'm like, oh.
Okay.
How am I going to get a hold of her? Because I'm the first in line. The cars behind me already have children. They're full. They're waiting for me to leave.
Okay.
You're right.
You know, Judge, on some level, some of the things she says, you're a little skeptical about it. But that particular point can be looked upon with skepticism. But I'm not going to say I've done this before. I certainly know people who have, where you may either have someone's phone, or I took it from my wife's phone for some reason, then I'm calling her and I realize, oh my God, I have her phone. That has happened to me.
I think some of these things, to your point, are reasonable, realistic. I think it's when you put it all together for the whole picture. The amount of detail she can recount about certain circumstances like that versus the lack of ability she had to know any details of what was going on with her boyfriend and the daughter, allegedly, that's where I'm bothered.
And what Maddie was wearing. okay, notice that she knows these details, but when it comes to the details of what Maddie was wearing before she left, what Maddie was wearing that night, what Maddie did in between the time Jenn got home from work at 10:30 and her going to bed at 11. I didn't hear her talking about Sister Act this time, about them watching Sister Act. I didn't hear about Maddie wearing a certain nightgown. She didn't even get her clothes right. She didn't even get the clothes right. She said black shorts and a green hoodie. That's not what she was wearing. She didn't say anything. Yeah, selective memory is not selective memory when it comes to a case. It's not that. It's her choosing not to say what she wants to say and when she wants to say it and what's convenient and what goes with the story. She doesn't want to go step outside of the scripting, obviously.
She'd get out, she'd get dressed, she'd let her hair towel dry for a while, and then she would brush it. We would watch some TV. She'd probably have a snack before bed as well.
Okay. What were kind of her nighttime uniforms? I mean, everybody kind of has their pajamas, but they're not necessarily pajamas. What was her routine nightwear?
She really liked wearing shorts. So she had a few pajama outfits, but she really liked wearing shorts and baggy t-shirts.
Okay. How about her routine getting ready for school in the morning? What's that about?
We'd wake up, the alarm would start ringing around 7:30. We'd snooze it up until 8 o'clock. Then she'd get up, she'd get dressed, and then she'd lay back down in bed while she would wait for me to make her breakfast.
So she's a breakfast eater?
Yeah.
Okay.
She'd have breakfast. Then she would start, with brushing her hair, brushing her teeth, putting on makeup. I would give her ADHD medications for school.
Is that every day or just school days?
All right. I got to shout out to Grisch. Yo, wow. What's up? Grisch, you're awesome. We love your content. Thank you so much for lending us your video and even though you didn't, I told you that I didn't get an answer, but around here I do reaction videos. So thank you for lending your video for us to react to. Everybody loves you. Everybody loves how you put the content together. And everybody that didn't go subscribe to will go subscribe to you when they're done. So thank you. And we cannot wait for a part 2. I hope you're over 2,000 subscribers now and keep blowing up. So thank you, Grisch. Appreciate you. All right. Everybody says hello.
So it sounds like you're heading out like 8:45 or 9?
Yes.
And it takes what'd you say, 15, 20 minutes to get to school?
Yes.
And first bell's 9:38?
9:20.
Something like that?
9:20,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, let's bring in our guest still with us, criminal defense attorney Marie Pereira and Deputy Public Defender Philip Dubé. Hi, guys. Great to see you so much. Thank you so much for being on the show with us.
All right, we just want to hear that.
Paying for flute lessons. He would see her on her birthday, do whatever he could to be part of her life. And that child never expressed to anybody what was going on. So,
all right, real quickly, I'm playing this part, but I want to stop and say, Rosie, we love you. Good to see you always. Choo choo. I know you guys like when I do the choo choo. And what's up, Jojo256? Thanks for coming back. Here, yeah. So them talking about this brings me to a guest that wants to come on next week. That wants to talk about what they're talking about here about Maddie not saying anything to anybody. Thank you, Joe. Choo choo for the $2 super chat. You're awesome, and you. Yeah, thank you for riding the choo-choo over here. I know you guys like that. So a guest wants to come on and talk about her experience being, what happened to Maddie happened to her and her mom not believing her. So keep that in mind. Now, when we talk about this, I'm not talking about Jenn not knowing about it, but maybe Maddie did tell her about it. Maybe she did tell her and Jenn didn't either care, believe her, or want to know. Grisch said, "This is fire. I'm so flattered. You should be flattered. We know good content creators when we see one, and you are a good one. So thank you. We can't wait for part 2. All right, we're all new subs to your channel. Let's listen for a minute because that guest that wants to come on is going to tell her story, and I'm very proud of her. It's very it's hard to do.
I got to tell you, if it wasn't apparent to bio dad, I'm not sure that mom was sharp enough, if she is truly on the spectrum, to pick up on the fact that something was happening to the child. It's kind of hard to believe, especially when you're under the same roof. But on this evidence, I'm having a hard time believing that Jenn exploited and weaponized her own kid. I really am.
Marie.
Oh, I don't want to hear your opinion right now because I think that she did. Let's keep going. We'll start off with Jenn saying,
if we happen to give her medication later than normal and routine, that would happen. But
Okay. And were there ever any instances where she had taken too much of it?
Carrie, just real quick, the update is this. We're waiting for more information to come back from the FOIA. There's absolutely hearings in, January or February and March. They're probably not going to happen. The trial is supposed to begin. It's not going to begin. The update on Jenn is it's been 9 months. They haven't arrested her. And right now we're taking a second look at Jennifer Soto's connection to Maddie's death, CSAM pills, and Stephan Stern. So that's the update. We're digging deeper into it. Yeah, we're doing theories. We're talking about theories today. There's nothing new yet, but it will come from the FOIAs. Trust me.
Medicine, perhaps you and Stephan had given her medicine, not knowing that the other person had?
yes, that's happened once
How
before.
Just once or more?
I want to say one.
Okay. Were you taking medicinal marijuana in pill form at any point, or THC?
Yes.
And what do those pills or tablets or capsules look like?
They're purple capsules.
Did you ever suspect or confront Stephan about giving those medications to Madeline?
No.
So during this incident where Madeline had been double dosed with hydroxyzine, do you recall any conversation you had with Stephan and inquiring as to whether or not he had accidentally given her any of your THC?
That hadn't occurred to me. I had asked him the one morning Maddie wouldn't wake up and get ready for school, and she was just out of it. I assumed it was medication related, but I didn't realize. I'm like, did this one medication hit her too hard because we gave it to her late? I called poison control. I needed to see what would happen. Because at this point, I think I had gotten Stephan to admit that he gave her a second dose of the sleeping meds as well.
All right, so then we're talking about that night, a second dose, well, a couple times, because this is the time when she called poison control. She obviously must have thought that she probably took more than 2 doses. I think she was afraid that maybe Maddie took one, Stephan gave her one, she gave her one. I think it was a little bit more, and she's not telling that. Now, Maddie's toxicology report is released, but it's not going to be released to us. It's going to be released to none other than Jenn Soto and Tyler and Tatiana, obviously. So we're not going to get that. I'm sure we'll hear about the results at some point, and I'm very interested in finding out what was in her toxicology, if they're going to find like 3 times the amount of XYZ, if they're going to find THC in her toxicology, what are they going to find? And I'm going to bet on them finding a lot more than Jen's saying right here. Because she lies all the time. Oh, and she's going to say she didn't know it. Stephan must have did it. Maddie did it. Who knows?
Because he thought I had given it to her in the first place.
Okay.
But that was with hydroxyzine. I didn't know anything about THC to marijuana.
I'm just asking you.
Oh.
I'm asking if you remember having that conversation. There is a conversation on your phone about you were relaying that Madeline said that she suspected that it was different, bigger pills, and you relayed that to Stephan and had a conversation with him. And if you don't remember it because it was a year ago, that's fine. My next question is, you have 2 female roommates?
Yes.
And one of them has a child, a son that sleeps part-time over there?
Yes.
And so my understanding is they're kind of, it's like a
baby.
I don't know what to call it, like a bed and breakfast. There's numbers on the doors upstairs.
Yeah, I don't know. To make it easier for the roommates, I just labeled each bedroom.
So they're in 2 and 3.
Yes.
All right. Now, bedroom number 4. At one point, you told the police that your sister was staying with you, and that's why the sleeping arrangements were as they were. Was your sister ever staying with you, or did I?
That had nothing to do with their sleeping arrangements. Let's be real. Grisch is on it. This is a normal case. Baked sotato. I love it. If anyone, much less than Stephan, to help this 13-year-old get ready for bed, it's infuriating. Also, if you guys saw some of those pictures that were out, was it Plunder or Grizzly True Crime that recently put out new pictures of Maddie being like, I think it was Plunder, where she was like really dressed up with makeup and they made her look like a woman. That's infuriating to think about Stephan with her and them talking about baby having the baby coins and all that. That bothers me a lot because I hadn't seen those pictures of Maddie looking that grown up. So I think it is Plunder's channel. I don't know. Ninchi True Crime's awesome, but I have trouble understanding the accent. If you guys do go over there and like that, it's a new channel, fairly new, coming out with commentary on this case. Yeah, even High Heels, I believe it.
Misunderstand what you said.
No, my sister wasn't staying with me.
Okay. So let me ask you this. At what point did Madeline's bedroom kind of become the living room? When did that setup start?
I think as soon as a few months into us moving back into that townhouse.
And when would that have been?
I'd say June of sometime in 2022, but I'm not sure when.
Okay. It's my understanding that it's December of 2022 that you and Stephan kind of break up,
Yes.
but he still remains in the townhome.
Yes.
Why is that?
Yeah, why is that?
So even though we were broken up, I still considered him one of my best friends. I wanted to.
Again, this goes back to the theory that Grisch had, that it's all just a facade. All just a facade. Jenn and Stephan and their relationship was a facade. It was a mask. It was the outfit that they put on to let Stephan have access to Maddie and to take the pictures and to sell the CSAM and to get the pills together, because them together were much better than working alone. He would provide Jenn and Jenn provided him, and Jenn and Maddie provided Stephan. So it's all just a facade. And I believe that because Stephan wasn't even interested in her in the first place. You want to hook up? Sure. What guy says that? Come on. Let's be real. If a guy's interested, he'll let you know.
Give him the opportunity to live there, and he had just he had gotten a job at Disney that was doing well.
Okay.
And I didn't want him to continue to lose that because he had been struggling for a long time to get a job or do anything because his own mental health issues.
Okay.
So I just wanted to give him a chance to do something, be something. So
Did he pay rent?
Yes.
How much rent did he pay?
$600 a month.
So in December of 2022, kind of when the breakup happens, prior to that, what were the sleeping arrangements in your home?
Yes.
Was he sleeping in your bedroom as a couple?
Yes.
So who's in bedroom number 4, if anybody?
I think that room remained empty for a while. For a little bit, there was another roommate there, but it remained empty for the most part.
And were your female roommates already there in 2 and 3?
Yes.
He did.
Why doesn't Madeline have that bedroom 4?
Why doesn't Madeline have bedroom 4? Leanne, he paid rent. He didn't pay rent. His parents paid rent. And like I said, they were all playing everybody and using each other for the things that they needed. He needed her for this. She needed him for that. He needed Maddie. She needed... It was just a mutual agreement with each other. And I do believe Jenn was holding the biggest cards, although Maddie was a huge one. Yeah, House of Horrors is right. Ugh.
I wanted her to have bedroom 4, but my dad really wanted rent.
No.
That whole unit that I live in is owned by my father.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Do you pay your father anything to live there, or does he just handle the collecting the rent from your rentees, lessees, whatever they are?
I pay him rent as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you pay for the rent?
My portion of the rent was $400 a month.
All right. And what do the two female?
So Stephan's paying 600. She's paying 400, and then she's got 2 other roommates that should more than cover. And she's got this giant king size bed downstairs all alone. Let me sleep alone and get good sleep, but give Maddie a half a room, and then the other half a room that's just a room that's set up for a gun, lube, and a tripod. Bullshit. Yeah, 600 from Chris. Absolutely. And I'm sure she's the one that paid her dad. He probably said, hey, pay me, $2,000 and you could have the condo. And so she split it up how she saw fit and paid dad. He didn't say give up Maddie's room. He would not say give up Maddie's room. That's not what happened. She's lying on this. I could almost guarantee you that.
No roommates paid?
Yep.
$850 and $650.
Okay. Prior to
You hear that?
Madeline having her own bed.
Okay, so add that up, folks. 850, 650, 600, and 400. How much is that? Now, we looked it up, but we looked up the condo. We know the dad owns it, but add those numbers up. 850, 650, 600, and 400. That could easily give Maddie a room. That is such bullshit. And Stephan didn't need to pay that. Stephan's dad, wouldn't have mattered what that 600 went to. If he was such a good stepdad, why not put that 600 towards rent and give Maddie a room? What a stand-up stepfather he is. Wow, unbelievable. Unfucking believable.
Bedroom set up in the living room. Where was she sleeping in that townhome?
In my bed with me.
Okay. And this is during a time frame when you were together with Stephan. So is it the 3 of you every night?
Well, when we had first moved in, it was just me and Maddie. So it was just me and her on the bed. Then I think we eventually got her own bedroom. Stephan moves in eventually, and then at that point, it does become the 3 of us on the bed.
Okay. So Madeline's 12, and she has her own bedroom. And how often is she sleeping in her own bed alone?
Hardly. She doesn't like sleeping alone. And she doesn't like the living room. It's too big, too quiet. She says it'd be too dark and that there would be spiders. She would see spiders, so.
So you say hardly. Were there ever nights where she just slept alone in her bed? Or is it 100%? Because there's a difference between hardly ever and 100% to me.
If she ever slept on that bed, it was like once.
Okay. All right. So now you've broken up with Stephan in December of 2022, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's still paying rent, and he's there full time in bedroom number 4. Is that where he goes after you break up?
No, he stayed in my room for a few months. We'd broken up, but we weren't sure how to discuss it with Maddie because it was the middle of the school year, and I didn't want to affect her in any way.
Yep.
So we just played it off, acted like everything was normal and fine for the first 6 months. And then eventually she caught on. And then once she did, we admitted to her that we were broken up. And then, at that point is when he moved up to bedroom 4.
Okay. And once he moved up to bedroom 4, were there instances where Madeline would sleep alone upstairs with him?
Right?
I'm going to say
I want you to think carefully before you answer, because obviously we've gone through your phone and we've seen all the conversations that you've had with Stephan. So it's clear that that's occurring. So I'm giving you the chance to answer the question.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how many times it's happened.
Okay. Why are you allowing that to occur?
Now, keep that in mind when he says that, he's also saying, I have pictures and I've seen all the pictures of Stephan assaulting Maddie. We have all of the times that he was with her alone because you're not in that picture, but he's assaulting Maddie while she's asleep, while she's drugged, while she's whatever it is. So answered correctly here, although you still have immunity for this time only. All right. All right, let's keep going. I want to answer all of your questions. Trust me. And McClure, I will get back to you. I know you texted me with some options. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll get back to you soon.
I saw Stephan as someone that I completely trusted with my life, my child's life. I thought he had cared for her as a father would. He had been in her life for more than half of it, playing the father role. I thought he cared for her the way I did.
Now, does there come a point in time in 2023 where you've kind of had enough of roommate ex-boyfriend Stephan and ask him to hit the road?
Yes.
And is that fair to say it was like October?
Maybe like the end of October, because then I gave him all of November and told him he had to be out by December 1st kind of thing. But yeah, that sounds about right.
And then did you kind of ask him to leave a month earlier and it was a source of arguments?
Yes.
Okay. So now at this point in time when he's being asked to leave, have you had any conversation with Maddie that mommy isn't together with Stephan anymore and this is kind of the ways of the world? Do you have that conversation with her?
She had, by June, she figured it out already, so she knew we weren't together or anything like that. So she, by December, yes, she had already known he was leaving, and but that was okay.
Why is he coming back to visit after he's out?
Good.
We're still friendly with each other at this point. Christmas is coming up, and we wanted to spend Christmas together. So he comes up for a few days during Christmas.
Yes.
And then he does visit a few more times after that, but for the day. And it's to pick up packages. He keeps getting mail delivered to my house, packages. So he just comes up and picks them up.
And when he comes to
Now, they're probably not going to find money for the CSAM coming through Jenn's bank account, but there's going to be money from Stephan's, and they're going to find certain money trails. They're going to go through all this stuff. They know there were thousands of pictures of CSAM. They know the apps he were on. They're looking into that for sure. There's no way that they're not. All the things we're thinking, they're also thinking at 20 steps ahead of us. So I don't know exactly what's traceable, what's not. I know they were trading. I know they were probably selling, because how did they have that type of money? So yeah, they can look at Jenn's financials. I'm not sure to what extent that they have. The trial is there's supposed to be two trials, one for the CSAM and one for the taking of Maddie's life. So it's not going to be scheduled. It's scheduled for 2025. What is it? Well, I don't even have the dates because I know it's not going to happen. February and March or something like that. I'll post it up there, but the trial is not going to happen. They're going to be hearings and they're going to get pushed out for sure.
Visit after he's been kind of kicked out, is he paying rent or how is this working, or is he just coming to visit?
He's just coming to visit.
Is your father making any arrangements to rent bedroom number 4? Because this is his income that he's losing.
Yeah, we had it. We had like an ad posted to see if we can get any renters. So we were trying to rent it out, but then we had to stop.
And what happens if you ended up renting room number 4? Is Stephan going to still come up and visit you and sleep in your bed?
I don't know. I hadn't even thought of it at that point.
At one point, you told investigators that Stephan was quote unquote stuck down there until they could afford for him to come back. Were there plans for him to come back?
We had discussed him coming back and living with me.
Damn it.
We weren't sure temporarily or like for me to help him out with a place for a little bit before he can find his own place and move out. Or we were also considering talking about living together as a companionship. With my best friend who's helping me out with my child.
Because you told investigators that a lot of the
So you guys are right. She said a best friend that was helping me out with my child. So in other words, a babysitter, income for the condo, and whatever else they were doing. Now, September 22nd, 2025 is when the trial is supposed to be set for the taking of Maddie's life. And the other one is, I think, in February. I don't have the date. I'll put it up in a minute, but it's not going to happen. Those dates aren't going to happen. One's for CSAM, one's for the murder charge. All right. But it's going to get pushed out. So if you want to mark your calendar as September 22nd, 2025, I'll be surprised if Stephan even shows up to the hearing at this point. Yeah, very codependent, but it's a bad codependency. Codependent, it could be fine if it works out and it's not hurting anybody, but their codependency was on drugs, which I shouldn't be saying, all the pills, all the other things going on. Yes, on your birthday. It won't happen. It won't happen.
The reason your relationship fizzled off with Stephan was that your antidepressants.
Thank you. Thank you for the 5.
You had moved on to other people, had you not?
Yes.
And so despite having moved on with other people, you were still having Stephan come up and visit, and there were plans to cohabitate with him again, potentially.
Possibly, yes.
Maddie had the opportunity to go visit her biological father in the fall out in Texas. Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. Do you remember texting the biological father, hope nobody touches Maddie or try it or films her under the bathroom? You remember sending that text?
No.
Because that seems like a very oddly specific thing to text the father. So you didn't know anything about what was going on filming underneath bathroom doors?
No idea. I don't know why I would have texted them.
June 16th of last year, about 9:30 p.m.
Oh, actually, I can actually think back to that.
Okay. What?
I think around the time that Maddie was going to fly out to Houston, there had been an airline person that had gone into the bathroom and placed their camera on the toilet to film. And I remember thinking, I don't want Maddie, I'm afraid of Maddie being alone on the plane, because what if an attendant does that to her? Says, hold on, let me fix something in the bathroom. And in reality, they're setting up a camera, because this did happen to a girl.
Okay.
So I want to say it may have been concerns over that.
Okay. Now, June 16th of last year at 9:30 p.m. and 27 seconds, you texted Stephan this: Maddie's no longer sleeping with me. I can't risk it. What does that mean? How often was Maddie sleeping with you?
So she never even answered that question. And thank you, Synth, for the 555 prayer for Maddie and all the littles out there. See something, say something. Absolutely. She never even answered that question. We've asked that a whole bunch of times, right? We've asked a bunch of times, what does that mean? You can't risk it. And what is that text message about somebody filming her under the door? Very specific when he was doing that to your roommate. Same day, lots of pictures, and she just can't answer it. So what is that? What I mean, would you not know if you had texted somebody and said, Maddie can't, or my kids can't sleep with us, I can't risk it anymore? Would you know? I'm sure you would, but she doesn't want to tell them because it's got to be something that's involved with Stephan and Maddie.
Often, all the time.
Well, you keep on saying often versus all the time. Was it 100% of the time or not 100% of the time?
If she wasn't with my mom and she was with me, then yeah, she was sleeping with me.
Okay. And if she's at mom, she's 100% of the time sleeping with mom?
With my mom, or she does have her own room, I guess. Like there's another spare room she could use, but for the most part, she prefers to sleep with my mom.
Okay.
Little context for the interview. Police wanted her to come in. They basically told her they would give her immunity for anything she said during the interview, and she is there with an attorney. Just wanted to put that on the table for everyone. Now, in another part of the interview, detectives questioned Soto about why she was tracking Madeline's menstrual cycle. Take a listen.
Now, my understanding is that you had some sort of period tracker that you kept track of Madeline's period with?
I had a calendar app that I would write what days she would get her period, yeah.
And obviously, Madeline doesn't have a job, so she's not going out and buying the products that she would need if she had her period, right? You would have to do that for her?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
So, do you remember her using any of those products at all in February? Because I assume you take the trash out, or does she take the trash out, or how does all this work?
I take the trash out. In February, no, I didn't notice her using any of her feminine hygiene products.
Did you have any conversations with her about that?
No, but I didn't notice until after everything.
Because it would have been due like at the beginning of February.
She didn't notice until after. Now, remember, we listened to some interviews last week with her best friend, Sage, and her best friend, Sage, said that Maddie did, in fact, start her period that month before her life was taken, and she would have been due for it again right before or right after her life was taken. So when I heard some of the things for the cause of death of Maddie, I did see somewhere that there was blood in her private areas. And I thought, did Stephan brutalize her and leave it because of that? Now, it could have been her period, but they did say that, and the pregnancy test seem to be old ones that were there. So I'm still not putting much weight on that, and we'll have to wait until it comes out. If the big question, we don't know. We don't have anything that says Maddie wasn't pregnant. We don't have documents that says that. We've just heard. It's all speculation. Oh, the dog says hello. All right. Thank you so much, Crystal. Thanks for all the times and effort you put into this coverage. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. All right, let's keep going.
February, and this all happens at the end of February, so she's almost due again in March. So you never had any conversations with her about not having her period at the beginning of February?
No, she's had other periods that have been missed or like super late, so I just assumed this was going to be one of those situations again.
Okay.
But no, I didn't.
Did you ever discuss her periods or lack of periods with Stephan?
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah, right.
It's my understanding.
Didn't Stephan talk about her period in one of the interviews? Didn't he talk about her being on her period or something about her menstrual cycle? He did talk about that. He was very aware of that. And we know that now. And she says, I don't think so. I think she's completely, game over on that. Maddie just said she really didn't say much to her friends. She did tell her friends that. I don't know who said that, but her friend did say that. Her friend did say she started, and friends do talk about that. I know. I have a 10-year-old, and in 4th grade, her friends are in 5th and 6th grade, and they all talk about period stuff, ladies. So it does happen, and I do believe Sage would have known that. And I do think Stephan was absolutely tracking that. Why wouldn't he be? He didn't want to get her pregnant.
Understanding that Maddie had to take Miralax. I'm familiar with that myself because of my daughter when she was little. So she had constipation issues?
Yeah.
Would it ever cause her discomfort, physical pain, bleeding?
Yes.
And how are you aware of that?
She would tell me. There have been moments. So we've gone to doctor's appointments. They've run a lot of tests on her. They told me why her body is doing what it's doing. But she's shown me if there was blood or if she's in the bathroom and she just can't go, like it's stuck. She showed me that too. So
did she ever specifically seek treatment for tear?
Now, how did she show him that? How did she show her that? And do you think that she didn't see? And listen, this officer, he's saying, did she ever specifically seek treatment for tears or bleeding or anything, because we do know that Stephan was into butt stuff, and abusing a little girl like that for years causes damage. I've been watching too many of these cases, and I hear the damage, the long-term damage, the short-term damage that it causes to children. Kim, thank you for the $1.99 super sticker. I appreciate you so much. There was blood and you didn't take her to the doctor, right? Right. And you're absolutely right, not the mama. She had other female roommates that could have been there. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. But yes, and yes, that is a big one too that I hear about. I hear about long-term, them not being able to have children because lots of damage.
Or bleeding or anything due to her bowel movements?
No, I don't think so. Tears or anything like that. No. I don't think there was ever a tear.
On February 26th, the whole purpose of Stephan coming and taking Madeline to school was so that you could get some sleep. You had missed your medication Saturday night, so on and so forth, right?
Yes.
Is there any particular reason Stephan couldn't have driven your car to take Madeline to school and therefore not embarrass her and he could just drop her off normally?
Yes, but because he's on my car insurance, I was very nervous to let him drive my car.
You did let him drive your car after this occurred, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but he was very insistent because he wanted to go look for Maddie, and he had a spare on his car because he had a flat, so he couldn't drive his car. So he just really wanted to go out. So I just let him, but I wasn't comfortable with it.
During your previous interviews, and you did it once today, you kind of interchanged we, or Stephan dropping Madeline off at school. Did you see Madeline at all on February 26th of 2024, that Monday?
Now, no. All of a sudden, no.
About how she died?
No.
Did Stephan tell you?
Now, notice how when she said no, she whispered it. She answered confidently about the not seeing her. She said no, but then no. Yeah. Her whenever she whispers, and in her other interviews, she's lying as well. I truly believe that justice will be served, even if it takes a while.
Anything about how she died?
No.
Did Stephan tell you about his plans to go back down to Northport in your car that Wednesday morning?
Mm-hmm.
Got any questions, Mark? I'm getting close.
I'm going to jump through because I was making notes as we were going on. So how frequently did Stephan come up here after he moved back to Northport?
I'm going to say...
How many times total do you think he came back here?
Yeah, 2 to 3 times.
Do you remember if those were around specific dates?
One was like the week of Christmas. I can't remember when the other one was.
Was Stephan in town the week or two prior to this last time he came?
I don't remember. It's possible, but I don't remember. Everything is becoming a blur.
Oh, I'm sure.
Do you remember sending him a text message asking if he can babysit Maddie while you go have lunch with your friend?
It was just a few weeks before. I remember going out a few weeks before. I don't remember asking him to babysit. I don't know where he was.
Did you ever go to lunch with your friend? And he babysat her?
I did go to lunch with my friend, but I don't think he was here. I think Maddie stayed home alone for a few hours.
Okay. When you mentioned Maddie caught on about you guys being broke up, how did that happen? What did she say, or?
I forgot. Me and Stephan were having a conversation. She goes, "Are you guys broken up?" And we kind of looked at her. I'm like, "Why do you ask?" She goes, "Because you guys are kind of acting like you're broken up. You guys haven't hugged and kissed in a long time." And we're like, okay. So we just kind of.
How do you think she felt about that?
Fine. She didn't act sad or happy or anything. You're just like, whatever.
Yep, you're right.
Just so many red flags in that interview. Anyway.
Yeah, we know that.
With my charger next to me on my side of the bed.
Okay, is it one that you plug in or?
The magnetic one?
Yes,
okay.
Mom.
Now, when you go to bed at night, is there any kind of routine that you do with your phone if you're texting, look on TikTok or whatever, and you go to bed? You just set your phone down and go to sleep, or what's that routine like?
I'll TikTok until I start dozing off, and then I'll put my phone on the charger, make sure my alarm's on, and then just lay down, close my eyes, and hope not to think of too much, just fall asleep.
Okay, that night, Saturday or Sunday night, when you guys when spending this half hour of time together, was all you were doing was talking about gifts and counting her money, or were you guys doing anything else?
Just asking her for more details about the party and tell me like what I missed. She seemed like she had a really good time.
When you got home from work that day, where was everybody?
I think everyone was in my room, hanging out in my room.
Okay,
Oh no, Synth, you forgot to tell me to pick up Reese. Just kidding. I picked up Reese earlier, y'all. Just wanted to joke with you guys. Yes, karma's a bitch and it will find you. Notice we've gone 2 hours and 9 minutes and it's 6:09 and I'm still going. So, Synth, you forgot to give me my daily reminder to pick up Reese. Did you guys forget? Anyway, Grandma Stacy, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you for the $2 super sticker. I got you, Synth. I got you. That was funny though. All right, I got my baby. She's taking a bath right now. She's enjoying herself while I'm in here hanging out with the dogs, taking a bath. So, I got you. You're a bad auntie. Bad auntie. Bad auntie. All right, let's keep going. I just wanted to say something funny real quick. All right. Just kidding.
Everybody meaning
Maddie and Stephan were there. Okay. Sorry.
All right. Now it's obvious that you and Stephan communicate via text message and phone calls and stuff like that. What is Google Meet?
What is Google Meet? That is like Google's version of FaceTime. So just face chatting.
Okay.
Video chatting.
Thank you.
Okay. When her birthday party was planned, was this planned before you got your job or after?
The birthday party?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was planned before. Because once I saw my schedule and I saw that it was during a training day, and I wasn't going to call out. I considered rescheduling the party, but my family was insistent to just keep it that day. And I said, okay.
All right, so Stephan moves out of his room, and I think he mentioned that your dad had plans on renting that room again to somebody else. Is that right?
Yeah.
How was that room set up? How was Stephan's room set up after he moved out?
Pretty much the same. The bed was in the same location. The TV, the dresser, the desk, and the mini fridge. Everything stayed in the same location.
Okay, was the bed and did it have comforter, blankets, and all that stuff on it, or?
You know why he's asking that? Because they were cleaning up the crime scene after Stephan came back from all his shenanigans in the morning and his fake McDonald's trips and dropping Maddie off and Jenn going to her blood appointment. They were cleaning up. Stephan was doing laundry. Stephan never did laundry. And yes, Jenn is a junkie. And that was her only priority, was getting her pills. We all saw that. Jennifer Ray, we all saw that when she wanted to go back in to get her pills. That was the only thing she was concerned about. Sarah Wilson, been over a month. Glad you got alive now. And happy early holidays to everyone. We're in December 4th, 2024. You got 21 days to go until Christmas. So hopefully we also get to have a 20,000K giveaway and give some merch out and have a little holiday shindig here. S says, I would be interested to know what time she canceled her Botox that day and what time it was scheduled for. Very suspicious that she canceled it. Absolutely. Sarah, you're such a sweetheart. Thank you for the one Guilty of Crime membership. I hope somebody gets it that really likes it. Kawana, yes, we have 594 people in chat, and you guys hit that 401. Thank you so much for everything today. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you.
When he moved out, everything was empty. There was a mattress protector cover on it. But I had clean sheets and clean blankets to put on, like they're available. So
Where were they available?
in the closet.
Okay. Do you know if he made the bed?
I don't know, but I'm going to assume he. I don't know.
What did the blankets look like that would be used to make that bed?
They would be white cotton linen sheets.
Congratulations.
They're white, but they're white stripes, different shades of white. So white stripes going down it.
How many pillows were on the bed?
I'm not sure. I know that we had taken things out of that room before. I don't know if we used those pillows. I'm not sure what pillows were there.
Okay, did you ever go into the room after you discovered that she was missing? Did you go upstairs to that bedroom? No. So when you go to sleep in your room, and you're either with Maddie or without Maddie or with Stephan, is your door open, closed, lights on, lights off?
When I go to sleep? So I have a cat. I can't shut the door. I have to leave it cracked. So it stays cracked with a little door stopper behind it so it doesn't open all the way because my cat will just knock it over. Yeah, but we sleep with the door cracked.
Okay, lights on, lights off?
Lights off.
Me too.
With a YouTube video playing in the background, playing rain sounds.
Okay, would the screen be illuminated, or is it something where a screen, like a phone, where the screen goes black and it still plays?
It goes black, yeah. So
okay. Do you remember it happened that night if you were listening to those YouTube videos, or?
Probably was.
Now, this purpose of you telling or having Maddie sleep with Stephan upstairs is because you told me before that you needed a good night's sleep.
You did say that.
If you needed this kind of sleep previously to when Stephan wasn't there, what would happen?
You mean if Stephan wasn't there and I needed this good night's sleep? It depends. If I had missed my meds the way I missed them that night and I wasn't feeling, or I was feeling just how I was feeling, I'm not sure if I would have had her sleep. Have her sleep with me on the other side of the bed, or if I would have sent her upstairs to the guest room. But she sleeps like a monkey. She rolls. She'll start on one end of the bed and end up on top of me by the end of the night. And she's a gymnast, I guess. But
have you ever sent her upstairs to sleep?
No, not for any of these reasons.
Aww.
Have you ever sent her upstairs to sleep by herself?
No.
I'm going to need to wrap this up.
Okay, one more question. Does anybody use your phone?
Yes.
Other than you?
No, except for the day that we were sitting in front of my house and forensics was in the house. That was the only time I've ever let anyone use my phone, and that was Stephan. Stephan has my phone.
What about, do you wear an Apple Watch?
Yes.
Does it track any of your movements or anything like that you know of? Do you sleep with your watch on?
No, I hardly ever put it on, honestly.
All right, let's bring in our guest. Joining us this hour, criminal defense and civil rights attorney.
All right, so we're not going to get into that. They're going to start getting into other things with Stephan and whatever, and I'm not getting into that. I wanted to go over the things that I went over today, which is Jenn Soto's connection and that lovely video from Grisch. So we're anxiously waiting part 2 for that. Avis, thank you so much for the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. I really, really want people to get those. We're gonna have a really cool maybe I might even have 2 for you guys this month, because I have people that I want to that I want to come up here and have a members only. So yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, we did 2 hours and 18 minutes here. So awesome. Can't wait till more info comes. Alien babies, I can't wait until more info comes too. And I see Carly in chat right now. Carly, you got to get some more FOIAs done. Maybe you can do a FOIA tomorrow and see if we can get some more information. Recently, we had a FOIA done, and Bree brought in the interview of Sage. So that was awesome because nobody was playing the Sage interview, and we did. And now it's prompted other channels too. So you guys are so funny. I love you guys in chat. 601 people in chat. And that's awesome. You guys hit the like button. Jay, how does subscribers look? I think subscribers are doing well. I can't see right now, but I know we're probably at 19,850 something. I hope somebody let me know, but we will get to 20,000 soon. And we're going to do a giveaway. I'm going to do something I'm going to do a Guilty of Crime merch giveaway. Awesome sauce. I love your channel. Keep up, girl. Thank you, AK-47. I love AK-47s and AR-15s. My AR is my favorite gun. Well, I love AR-15s and my 9mm. So yeah. All right. Yeah. Hey, AK, not the mama. Jess, thank you so much for being here tonight. We missed you. Yeah, we're at 19,800 and something or other. So, all right. You guys drop your comments in chat. Do me a favor. Come back tomorrow night, won't you? And join us for the case of Jamie Komorowski. We're going to listen to the jail calls. A new jail call came out today of the after sentencing. So the after sentencing jail call came. I'm going to play that for you guys, and then we're going to finish up the rest of the jail calls, and we'll go in order. And I think I'll probably come this weekend and play more jail calls and hang out with you guys since we're getting close to Christmas. And I do want to talk to you guys about giveaways. Go to guiltyofcrime.com and go take a look at the merch store so you can see what giveaways you want me to give away to you this month. Okay, so go meander on over to guiltyofcrime.com, and I will see you guys very soon. Love you. Thank you. Have a good night.